Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on GTA 5 with Dew managing to get what should be the almost unstickable car stuck. It can fly, it can hover, and yet it can also be defeated by a railing. And the worst bit is, while it can still move around, they managed to wiggle it free using the, upside down car control. However, it doesn't have time to activate a hovering mode, so it drowns in the water and fails the mission. Picklad Alex up next on GTA 5. The good old, crash alley and everything. Things were looking good for the red truck. It gets through the first lot, is on two wheels, just about managed to recover it, heading towards the finish line. The pink truck gets bounced and spun, and then goodbye to a podium spot. Crash alley. Always causing mayhem, and now we're down in 8th place. That is unlucky. That's about the closest I've ever seen somebody get to finish this and then, fall off. CR Studios up next on GTA 5. Now, this is a modded version of GTA 5. They're doing a police chase. They're trying to stop a taxi that has a collapsed sun on the roof. Don't ask, but it's very bright, the light on there. It's the Land Rover. It's more curious. I don't quite know what it hit. It hit something pretty damn hard to spiral through. It's the FailRace Police Department's new tactic. That one was its first attempt, not the best. More FailRace Police Department this time. It's the undercover unit. Cheetah Lynx on Need for Speed Most Wanted is trying to get away from the fuzz. Takes a shortcut while driving the Subaru. Seems like a fairly solid idea. The Monaros have other ideas though, or GTOs probably. That's another attempt from the FailRace Police Department. Again, not quite successful, but spectacular. It got rolled over, so definitely. Now we catch the FailRace Police Department on a break. On Need for Speed Heat, where a player has figured out you can roll them over. Yes, if you slowly drive into the side of them with a Land Rover, they are vulnerable to falling over. The best thing is the police don't seem to care about this. I don't know what's going on. Another car turns up to have an investigate, kind of, and then does a U-turn and crashes and shoots off. I don't know what's going on. Well, I do. Maybe it's the FRPD's training or something. The AIs are weird sometimes. We move next on to Just Cause 3 with a 5-star wanted rating. Lots of armies after the, attack boat we've got going on here. Either way, a couple of helicopters turn up, and naturally you want to try and take them down quite quickly. So the first shot actually kind of misses the helicopter. However, it is the best takeout I have ever seen. Manages to hit the tail rotor. So the actual explosion doesn't blow up the helicopter, it just hits the tail rotor enough to launch it into a front flip, and it's perfectly positioned to why you couldn't do that one better if you tried. You really could, and that is one hell of a lucky shot right there. But it just crashed the boat as well, but the shot was amazing, so we'll forgive that bit. Mac Daddy up next on Horizon 4 is racing around in the Rally Fighter in rather adverse conditions. Gets things a little on two wheels and shoots through the gap. Another player in Ghost Mode takes out the AI cars and manages to create a perfect gap for the crashing Rally Fighter to drive through. Again, wonderfully timed right there. Indie Brody up next on Toy Soldiers Cold War. So this is a tank battle. We've got, toy tank battle and everything going on here. Takes out a tank, takes out some soldiers, drives down a hill, and then falls through the map. Apparently that bit of map didn't like the tank bumbling along over that. I don't know why. The tank didn't do anything particularly weird, but there we go. Jimmy up next on My Summer Car. And a problem we've all been in when playing this game. The van is upside down. Trying their best to right it. It turns out there is a super kick option. Yep. Why? How we managed to launch the van into two rolls, I don't quite know. I've seen some... It worked. At the end of the day, the van is recovered, so that's what matters. Your groceries are going to be a bit everywhere, shall we say, but it got back onto its wheels. Mike up next on Ultimate Blister 2. Now, these AI cars having a race at the Red Bull Ring and a fairly mundane crash. 3 into... one doesn't really quite work, and in the end, the black vehicle gets spun across the nose of another car and put in a wall. Okay, fairly mundane crash, if this is FailRace episodes go. However, this vehicle is now not handling right from the crash, and the AI tries to get it into the pit lane and fails. Can't get it turned in initially, so goes for a spin. It's quite a quick pit entrance here, and the AI, I guess, was just in normal mode and couldn't make the corner with a damaged car. It then doesn't know what to do. It's tried to enter the pit lane but then hasn't, and decides to crash the turn into the tyre bundle is the best way. The funniest thing is it's taken off a wheel. The car's still okay. It's actually still got drive and steering. The AI could get it into the pit if it knew how to, which it doesn't, at least not without retiring the car. not their finest, not their finest hour. Steam's Dev up next on GT Legends with an Alfa Romeo doing its, well, best Beyblade impression. It pings off of one tree. It's the secondary bounce, though, that's much, much worse, and it's on fire, flying across them, well outside of the track, actually, in this one. I mean, the initial crash is understandable. Jumps across the grass, clips the barrier, and goes for a roll. It bounces off a tree peculiar, but it's a secondary bounce off of the floor that absolutely sends the Alpha to orbit. It bounces off a building roof as well. It does stop spinning a little bit as it gets further away, but that's, yeah, a long way gone. And finally, on to a driver San Francisco with Volvo Brick Fan and a bus behaving very weirdly in this one. So it seems like something's got locked up in the wheels of the bus, but it's supposed to be dry. I don't even know on this one. It almost falls over at one point. I've played a fair bit of this game. I love Driver San Francisco. I think it's a massively underrated game. But I don't know what the bus is doing. There's also, so I mean, the players driving around with the McLarens, and a couple of other McLarens come shooting past. I'm not sure if there's maybe an end of a race or something. They were around. Regardless, the bus is still doing its weird swerving and suddenly picking up speed. The police turn up. They're not even after the player. They're after something else. They push the bus out of the way. And still it continues. It's weird, kind of locked up, out of control, swaying from side to side and battering into a wall. I don't know, it gets some serious speed from time to time as well with this one, but yeah, I wouldn't go on the buses in San Francisco. That's what we have learned here. Don't mess around with them. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clips and mission section, and there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.